Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Player Analysis. With this series, we're going to take a look at a player and analyze their strengths and weaknesses and display some scores to show how well they excel at their respective game. Today's episode revolves around a player who has always been on the come up, but has fairly recently started to find their bearings as an absolute tyrant in their department of play. Let's take a look at the tapping legend, FrostedGH. FrostedGH is a clone hero player from the United States. He's been generally known as a pretty impressive player over the last few years, but wasn't exactly recognized as a prominent player in the scene until around as late as 2017. Despite his impressive catalog of FCs such as Ed Trio, Undefined Paradox, and his plethora of section compilations, he still remained rather underground, but Frosted managed to turn some heads rather quickly. Once the Clone Hero era rolled around and Frosted made the switch to the game, his skill also tremendously improved since then, and he is now one of the most threateningly skilled players in the game, pushing boundaries and proving multiple people wrong of what FCs are actually possible in this game. With that said, let's take a look at his strengths and weaknesses. A lot of Frosted's skills revolve around tapping, but it would be silly not to appreciate how deep these pure fundamentals of his go in this regard. Frosted's stamina is simply unreal. You'll almost never see him lose form and technique when he plays long-winded charts, which is why he's so consistent at churning out FCs on songs that are well over 10 minutes long. The biggest thing that really sets him apart from other players are his transition skills. These are simply on another level most of the time, and his ability to switch between methods so fluently is one of the main reasons his catalog of FCs is the strongest out of any player at the moment. Whether he's coming out of rake tapping, sweeps, teleporting in and out between tapping sections, nothing is too tricky for Frosted, and this aids him extremely well being an FC powerhouse as a result. Lastly, his raw speed is straight up insane at times. Whether it's zigs, chimneys, trills, he can really get moving when he needs to, and you'll often see the speed in his section compilations when he takes your favorite solo and ramps it up at nearly double the speed. His only prevalent weaknesses are generally centered around his strumming skills, more specifically his technical strumming. While just recently he has shown some fairly respectable skill in this department, it's still something that simply doesn't compete with his tapping skills and feels tripped up a bit with alt strumming at times, especially on the slower, more controlled side of things. With this, he's held back from charts that revolve around very tricky and intricate strumming, but this could be due to a lack of experience since we don't necessarily see much footage of him playing these types of charts often. With this said, let's take a look at a few of his scores to display how strong his strengths are. Prevail is a chart that has an insane amount of pattern transitions that you're practically changing methods every 2 seconds. And Frosted's ability to maintain such incredible control during this FC is something that can't go underlooked at all. You have teleporting, all the types of zigs, castles, reverse castles, rake tapping, triplets. Just about everything there is to know about tapping is in this song at a speed that very few can keep up with for even a couple seconds. After the first minute and a half or so, it's just a straight shot until the very end for 2 minutes of raw, unfiltered madness that makes this such an iconic FC overall, and displays his ability to incorporate so many methods all in a matter of a couple of minutes.
Oh my god! This is... Dude, yes! Dude, it's fucking over. 34 runs past staggering A. 34!
Not too long ago, Frosted uploaded a compilation of an hour of raw solos and various FCs on very short charts. The clips I'm going to display offer insane amounts of speed on patterns I described earlier: zig speed, sweeps, chimneys, quads. I would basically be reiterating every pattern off at this point, so I think it's best if I just use these examples to show how fast he truly is.
Easy. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I'll just get that first try. That's cool.
Aside from full discography charts, there are very few charts out there that break the 20k mark, and this one breaks that mark fairly well in under 20 minutes too. It's the definition of consistency and practically the pinnacle of tapping FCs at the moment, FCing a multitude of solos and charts that Frosted has the only FC on to begin with. I should also mention he does this while reading chat, even when he's 21k notes in. There's really nothing that phases Frosted, and I highly suggest checking out this FC to really understand the depth of how impressive this FC gets. I really wish there was more I could say about this score, but it's just one of those scores you just have to sit back and appreciate how someone is capable of a milestone like this.
What a monster!
Yes! 2 days. It only took 2 days. We got a new #1 on my playlist, for sure, 100%. This beats Prevail in every aspect.
Here are some honorable mentions for some of his other scores that I found to be extremely impressive and to highlight some other aspects of his play. First, we have his Crazy Bus FC. It's not too often we get to see Frosted play chords at this level, but this FC really makes me think that there's some hidden talent in this regard. Alt-strumming this whole thing, in my opinion, makes this a bit more tricky too, so hats off to Frosted for this and for sitting through this song too. Following this FC is his Paraffin FC. Lots of weird patterns, constant teleporting, varying rake strumming speeds, a lot more on the technical side overall, and easily one of Frosted's best scores. And lastly, I'd feel ashamed if I didn't include this, but I have to pay my respects to him FCing the entire Solus series as well. A series that included multiple charts that people said weren't possible due to its disproportionately hard sections, and he managed to take down 5, 2, and 4 within a few days of each other, which display his ability to utilize his fundamentals to make these seemingly impossible sections look like second nature at times. Frosted at the moment pretty much monopolizes his area of the game. His first ever FC catalog in the tapping department is second to none, and it's actually rather exciting to see him break new barriers every few weeks. With the constant development of methods and physical capabilities, it's not a matter of if Frosted FCs something or not, it's really just a matter of time of when he'll continue to push these new FC barriers that we know he's capable of. Special thank you to Tyler Quack for requesting this video through Patreon, and another thank you to my patrons for supporting the channel. If you want to support the channel yourself, feel free to check out my Patreon along with my other links below. I'll see you all in whatever video I upload next, and take care.